especially this fierce urgency of now, as Martin Luther King Jr. said. There's a couple of comments, even in the chat box, talking about, in your research and experience, is it accurate to state that police culture transformations by an organization may take approximately 10 years, And also another comment talking about trying to shift culture from the outside in. That's why I even like your comments to both of you saying that, an attack on the culture encompasses everything in the culture, which I think kills hope for people within organizations, where it's like, well, we might be bad, but there's really healthy parts of our culture too that we want to preserve. And maybe all the panelists can talk about that in terms of, changes in leadership, changes in things that are external. We don't have time for that, and how do we take charge by safeguarding the healthy aspects of our culture while quickly implementing rapid change that we need, that's palatable and possible without putting us all in shock?
I'll just quickly respond to that. I think that's very insightfully accurate in my experience, that in order to begin this kind of process and commitment to deliver on change, which is really improvement, it's not just change, but it's improvement, you need to understand and recognize, what are we doing that's working? And we need to reinforce that as much as we need to look for the opportunities for what we want to improve. And I think it's critically important in this process that, and there was a note as well in the questions. I mean, these changes need to come from within, and I would add it's important to have influences and voices that are not necessarily from within at the same time, so that you can get fresh perspectives. But it does definitely have to be owned and moved, by the people who are most affected. I would only offer again that the people most affected are, again, police and society, both.
Well, thank you. I know my amygdala is telling me at this moment to go into fight or flight, one or the other, being all in or being all out. But I love how you're talking about being vulnerable to really take this, to listen, but also to courageously act at this moment in history.
Well, just for me, just real quickly, I've experienced the pain, the excitement, the euphoria, the broken heart that this job brings to it. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. But there's so much evidence of hope that's out there. On Monday, I had to shoot requalify on the range, and as I'm waiting for the range master, I'm standing outside the range, and in the classroom across from the range, they're doing defensive tactics training, skills fighting, for fighting. And I peeked my head in, and they were playing Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. And I thought, wow, in this fighting class to build the skills for defensive tactics, they're also influencing the hearts and minds of these officers in terms of how they use the skills that they're about to learn. And they were doing that before they ever taught them the skills. So there's a whole lot of right things going on in our profession. And that's why I'm excited about this opportunity for dialogue, because we're going to hear the pain, and we're going to hear the hope and the opportunity that's in front of us.
I'm appreciative of the invitation to join with you all to try to be part of the change that we want to see. That's the only way that we're going to move things forward and allow everyone to come out of this renewed, and and be appreciative of this as part of a restorative justice journey.
Well, I have one question for all of you on this webinar. Regardless of how you found your way into this profession, are you bigger than this moment in history, or is this moment in history bigger than you? Are we as a profession bigger than this moment in history, or is this moment bigger than us? So let's recommit right now to the oath that we took, no matter how long ago, and to have the courage to recommit, come together, and transform the world by transforming ourselves and thereby our culture.